Welcome back, everybody. Today we're in a 2022 Yukon SLT, and I'm going to be taking you guys through a walkthrough of the car along with my driving impressions. And we have my friend Assam here. What's up, Assam?
Hey guys.
He's the one who actually owns this car, and he's going to share his personal opinion of the car along with whatever I feel, and he's going to be the helper today. So thank you so much for being the volunteer director for the video, and
Of course.
for being part of the video and allowing me to drive this car. So a little bit about this car here. This is a 5.3 liter V8 engine producing 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. The engine is connected to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it pushes currently the power to the rear two wheels, but you have all-wheel drive as well, all-time all-wheel drive, which you can change the modes right down there. And now we'll go for a little walkthrough of the car, and then we'll take it out on the road and see how it drives. So right off the bat, this car is presented in the black color, and I think it's one of the best colors that matches this car. You can see it barely fits into this parking spot, and it's a big vehicle. This thing is weighing 7,500 pounds, and you can feel that weight on the road when you're taking it for any sort of turn. This car does like to go straight, but not always taken on the turns. It's not really what the car is all about. But anyway, show you guys the engine compartment here. You do have automatic struts to bring this gigantic bonnet up. A little bit dusty down here, but there's your 5.3 liter V8. Very nice, very clean. You have some plastics, but you can see the engine. Perfect. Honestly, I think the front end of this car is my favorite. Like the way the daylight running lamps go on this car, along with all the LEDs and chrome, it's absolutely perfect. You can see this massive side profile of this car. It's just wicked. This thing is very demanding on the road, and I noticed that people get out of your way when you're driving this car. So very, very cool nonetheless. So I'm gonna try not tripping here, but we do have a power gate, which is very, very helpful. So the rear has enough space. This is a 3-row, and the rear seats are automatic right here. So I can just show you guys. Perfect. And then we'll just leave these down. But anyway, there's a bunch of room back here, and a lot of, I'm actually looking over there, it actually has charging ports for the 3rd row as well, along with their own ventilation, which is amazing. So a lot of space, really good car. Currently it's being used as a chauffeur vehicle, and this is available from Orbit Limousines for hire. If you guys are interested, use my code GDrives when you guys send them any sort of inquiry, and they will hook you up. So, and we're just going to close the rear hatch here. Again, both are power. You do have a whole lot of space back here as well. Again, like I mentioned, this is a chauffeur vehicle. Comes with booster seats for your kids, so it's very family friendly. We do have 2 captain seats in the back, along with your own HVAC controls and your charging ports, which is super nice. So the car is on, and you can turn it on back here. Auto, feet, and then you have your face, which you have your HVAC vents right up there. We'll turn those off for now. The 2 captain chairs are heated in the back, and you have a nice storage compartment in both of the front seats. Now, one thing I noticed this car is missing is the peasant blockers. So Assam, does this car have peasant blockers? The ones that go up the shades, or no?
No.
Okay, it doesn't look like it, but you never know. Sometimes they're so well hidden in cars that I don't want to say the incorrect thing. So good to know. But anyway, very fine finishes. You have leather and soft touch everywhere in the back here. You have your handlebar for the, or I like to call it the oh shit bar. And Bose sound systems on both of the doors. And the sound system does thump in this car, so a lot of storage on both sides, and really warm and welcoming back here, along with this pano sunroof. It's actually beautiful. So you have your light there if you want to read or do your makeup. And then again, this is the view from the second row looking into the back. But I think that's enough of the back. Let's get to the front where all the fun stuff is, and then we'll take it out on the road. Very demanding car. Trying to get in this thing, you feel like a king.
Yeah.
And just being so high up, like that's the first thing I noticed. I'm coming from a Honda Civic, so that is my baseline, but not really a good baseline for this car to compare it to. But anyway, coming from that low of a car, I feel like on top of the world right now. So what is your favorite part about the car, Sam?
I don't know if you noticed, but there are fully functioning electrical sockets in the back.
I didn't.
A lot of times we charge our laptops directly. I have worked on this car before. I've taken people to appointments and just worked on the car.
That's amazing. And is this
one of my favorite parts?
Is this the button over here that if I click it, it sends the power to the back of the sockets?
Yes.
Oh, that's very fancy. Okay, I noticed it here, but I was wondering what it did. But that's very cool. You have, I guess, since we're already here, we'll talk about all the other buttons. You have your auto on stop. You have your 360 camera. This car, you do need the cameras to park, along with this nice aerial view of the car. I barely got it in. I'm a bit to the left there, but very helpful. There's a bunch of settings. Here you have your rear camera, and then you have your front camera. You can zoom in, and you also have the side view, which is amazing. So you have your left side, and then you have dual screens for both of your blind spots there. This is the tow angle, amazing. And Assam, what was it? This thing can tow 8,400 pounds?
8,700 pounds.
8,700 pounds. I mean, it is a 7,500 pound vehicle, and it makes sense. So if you're ever looking to move, you know what, like your boat or anything like that, this thing can definitely handle it. So I think that's just more of your trailer if you have that plugged in. And then we'll hop out of here and go back over here. So you have your parking sensors, your traction control, your lane keep assist, and a power parking brake. So I can put it in park, and the park brake set is set there. I'm gonna move this up just so we can see a little bit better. Perfect. And then, yeah, you have your light control, automatic windows on both sides for the driver and passenger, and automatic locks, along with memory seats. Amazing. So you have two sets of memory seats here. I'm not going to mess with those since this car is not mine, but
the memory seats are also connected to the steering wheel. So if you choose a setting that you like, the steering wheel will also adjust with the seat.
That's amazing. So this thing moves along with the seats. Okay, that's wicked. Now, does this car have the power mirrors as well, or no? I've seen that in a couple cars.
Not the rear view mirror, no.
Not the rear view, but that's amazing. So I do see the steering wheel like moving when I turn the car on and off. So I guess that's what that's from. So that's amazing. All right, I think that's enough from the inside. You have your modern amenities here, Apple CarPlay. It's wired and wireless on this one. We'll talk about more of that on the road. Have my seatbelt on. Let's take it for a drive, shall we? Perfect. Let me just turn this automatic parking brake off. We are in drive, and so off we go. Maneuverability in these tight spaces for this gigantic of a car is honestly not that bad. I don't feel like I'm in a land yacht or like a limousine by any means. The car does kind of just go over all the speed bumps like it's nothing, which is a nice thing in this car. Along with, how do your clients typically find this car? Is this one of the ones that you guys send out more popularly, or?
So a lot of the time this car goes on to, we have regular clients. They usually choose to go with these cars. They have used them over for many times, and they like to be consistent with it.
Nice.
Generally, sedans are more common though.
Okay.
In rent-a-car, we do have sedans that are more luxury and exclusive. We can talk about that in a different video.
Definitely, yeah. No, that's amazing because, I mean, I'm no chauffeur, so coming out of that back, like that little plaza there,
Yeah.
I did make it a little rocky, so I'm sure the clients wouldn't appreciate that. But again, as a driver, I don't really feel it much because we have so much ground clearance in this car. It's just amazing. Nice, a lot of construction going on here, but we'll get the car on the highway and then keep it moving. But all right, little car over there, like you can't even notice that thing when it's beside you. That's how high you are in this car. So we're gonna need to get over. We do have blind spot assistant in this car, which is super nice. And like I mentioned, people give you space in this car. Nobody wants to mess with you. So the V8 does sing when you're on the on-ramp, but this car does not like cornering. So effortless, like we're already at 100. Now I'm gonna demand my space on this wonderful highway of ours, and I'm gonna be given that space because nobody really wants to mess with this car. It's just one of my favorite things. Like I don't really feel it in my Civic, so it's like one of the largest differences. I get bullied on the road because I guess, you know, I can't beat a lot of other people, but bigger engine, large car, a lot of road presence, so I guess it all makes sense. But we have a bunch of settings that Assam was telling me about in this car. So one of the cool features is with the heated seats. So you have your bottom where the saddle is, along with the backrest heated, or if you just want your backrest heated, you can just click that button down there and have that heated, and you don't get the saddle heated. It's pretty cool. I've never seen that in a car before. And then you also have your vented seats for the amazing summers. Assam says that when it's 35 degrees outside, Celsius that is for my American folks, that the vented seats really come to use there for keeping you cool. But amazing. Being on the highway right now, I feel like I'm just cruising. We're at 120 kind of cruising speed with everybody else, and it just feels very smooth, very nice. And if I want to pass this Camry of ours, I feather the throttle more than I already am, and I easily pass him. We'll let this RAV4 come in, and we'll just easily pass him because that's what the power of a V8 does. Assam, have you done any cool road trips in this car?
We did actually. We went to the States.
How was that?
Very good. I have driven to States in a Honda Civic before too. And compared to this, it's night and day. You do not get tired of this car. I was the one driving too. And the entire about 9-hour trip was very fun.
Very fun. All the passengers had good things to say?
Absolutely. We took our grandma there, who hates car seats.
Right.
So, it was very comfortable for the elderly too.
That is a great point, because I mean, I feel like anybody young under 30, like they don't really particularly care about seat comfortability, but the older folks, so like our parents or our grandparents, they definitely do. So that's actually a huge point, because as I'm sitting in this seat as a driver, I'm feeling very comfortable. I'm 6 feet and I weigh 198 pounds. It is just hugging me. I feel like I'm sitting on a sofa right now, and I can see, along with all the, you know, modern amenities of the heated and cooled seats and like the less road noise, that this car would be very comfortable on the road, and why people probably choose it as a chauffeur vehicle. So it's amazing. Looking ahead of us, what is this thing? It's like I think it looks like a school bus that's been turned into
Residential bus.
Yeah, a residential bus, because it's got 2 AC units on the top. Very cool. I'm gonna pull that guy over and ask him if I can review his bus next. I'm sure he'll say yes. So I'm gonna be very nice and let this gentleman over, or lady, I'm not really sure who's in it. But we'll get on our way here. So the 383 pound-feet of torque that this car has, you can feel, like it puts me in the back of my seat. The front lifts up, and I do have a 0 to 100 YouTube short on this vehicle, so if you want to see what it feels like and how long it takes to get to 100 kilometers an hour or 0 to 60 in for American folks, you can go take a look at that, and I'll link it here. But again, you have enough passing power, you have enough comfortability for you to be in this car for as long as possible. And again, just I feel like I'm cruising by everybody here. There's just no care in the world. I'm in a Yukon. Look at me, everybody. I'm passing you. And I see that, I think the lane keep assist is on right now. Is that the green lights there?
Yeah, so the car does come with a lot of safety features in it.
Okay.
Lane assist being one of them. It's something you notice a lot when you're going on longer drives, and on especially narrower lanes. It also comes with the blind spot assist, and also with it's almost a vibrator within your seat.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think when I was reversing into the parking where we started the video,
Yes.
I noticed the car was vibrating. So is that to let you know that you're close to objects, or what is
Yes,
that?
it is when you're close to the object, and also it's directional. So if the object's on the right side, your right side would vibrate.
That is very cool, because I think I got close to the car, the Tesla, I remember,
Yeah.
on the left side, and I felt it on my left side, though I didn't know what was happening, and I'm like, okay, I'll just I'll leave it alone. I didn't say anything, but that's interesting. And do you have the setting turned off where it would typically make the parking sensor noise in the car, or
Yes.
is it? Oh, you do. Okay.
We do have it turned off just because it's annoying for our customers.
For
who are
sure.
Being chauffeured around.
Right.
But it also does display it on your gauge when you are getting close to someone.
Oh, okay.
It gives you 3 levels, which is yellow, orange, and red.
Okay.
Depending on how close or how far you are.
Right on. Yeah, those are some amazing features. That's what I figured. I'm like, I didn't hear a parking sensor noise where you do in a lot of other cars. But yeah, that's actually very awesome. I did feel it in the car, so that's very good to know. I mean, the technology in these newer cars is just absolutely amazing. Gonna make way for some of these people here. One of the things I noticed, and it took me a little while to get used to in this car, is the sheer weight of it. So you feel the weight when you're braking and when you're turning in this car. So it loves to go straight and in reverse like any other car. But when you're braking, it took me a little while to figure out, because as you're braking, the weight of like 7,500 pounds is just coming to a complete stop, and that's a very heavy object. So you do have to feather the brake on this one and then come to a calm stop. You can't really... Have you ever been in a situation where you had to abruptly brake in this car?
Yes, but I think generally when you're in a car like this, you drive with more space.
Right.
So it hasn't really been a big issue.
Okay.
But it does brake. It will brake. However, it might kind of lift you off of your seat though.
Right. That's actually super true, because I think in this car you do have to change the way you drive. That's a great point that you made, because yeah, I think I'm used to like the smaller car that stops on a dime, or that at least feels like it stops on a dime, whereas this one, I find myself giving everybody else more space on the road. That's probably why people give me on this like space on the road. So I guess that sort of answers that question as to why it's so demanding. Alrighty, so now we're gonna figure out this car and see how it behaves on city roads and sort of like quieter places. As we know, it kind of just glides over on the highway, but we're going to test it out how it does in residential areas and, you know, sort of the city drive, and along with sharing what it can do on this beautiful tarmac. But you saw back there, this car, again, on the turning is very interesting. Like, it's not by no means a car that enjoys turning, but like I mentioned, it loves going straight. So a couple things that we want to mention of this car is, since the car is so large, you do have a cool feature up here that you can have your trunk, and Assam is going to explain that in a little bit more detail. Assam.
Yeah, you have a dial that adjusts how much your trunk would open. So a lot of the time these cars are parked within the garage, and garages don't have space to open the trunk all the way up. This provides you 3 different options. You can either open it quarter way, halfway, or full.
That's awesome. So I did notice that the trunk, when we opened it, it does go very high, so that's a very useful feature.
Yeah, it also, the seat dropping feature that you saw from the trunk,
yep,
it can also be accessed from up here.
Oh, no way.
So you have someone just delivering something and they don't have empty hands, you can just drop 3 seats as a driver from up here.
That's useful. I was wondering if that would be, because I'm like, it's so much work going, that's at least like 15 steps back there, and then you go and press those buttons to, you know, drop the seats and like pick them up or whatever. But that's amazing that GMC thought of that and, you know, made it a feature in the car. I think one more, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but along with the modern amenities of this car, it does have the heated steering wheel, and it's been amazing on this little bit chillier day, but nonetheless amazing. Now we're just going down this quiet residential street and definitely feeling the part here. Do you guys pick up a lot of your clients in these sorts of neighborhoods, or do you guys have a lot of clients that live in these sorts of neighborhoods?
Yes, actually. A lot of our consistent clients that we sort of serve on the daily are from these neighborhoods. Actually, cities like Oakville are much more common.
Right.
That's where most of our clientele comes from. We do deal with a lot of the business class flights.
Nice.
Mainly Emirates, but we do work with other airlines too, to provide them that service.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm just like looking around here. We're surrounded by mega mansions, it seems like. Look at all these gates. But nonetheless, if you are in the market to get a private chauffeur and hire this car out, I'm gonna let Assam share his details of the company and what you can sort of expect out of Orbit Limousine, and take it away, Assam.
Absolutely. Well, the link would be in the description, or what best we can do. But the chauffeur services are available for everyone, obviously at a premium cost, but it also gives you a premium service. We do pickup and drop-offs anywhere within GTA, and that can be done immediately. However, we do provide longer rides as well. We go all the way to New York or Montreal. Those have to be booked slightly further in advance, because we would like to give you a driver who's safe for those longer drives. Something we do value is safety of our drivers. So we make sure everything within the vehicle is perfectly safe for our clients and our drivers. One of the things we do very commonly in winter time is if an SUV is booked, but the conditions are not good enough. Sorry, if a sedan is booked and the conditions are not enough, we always send out an SUV as a complimentary feature, because we want our clients and the drivers to be safe. And if you're looking for just general quotes, or if you're looking to book rides, you can reach us at orbitlimo.ca, and Kenny will leave a coupon code under if you would like to reach us through that.
That's perfect. I'll put the coupon code in the description below, and then they will get, Orbit Limo will take care of you guys. And I do want to thank them a lot for working with me and scheduling all this time, for letting me record this car, and going out and, you know, just sharing all the little tidbits. So thank you so much, Assam. I really appreciate that. And that pretty much brings the video to our conclusion. So the 2022 GMC Yukon SLT, it's a wonderful car, an amazing limousine commercial car, but also if you want to own it for yourself, it's absolutely comfortable. You have all of the amenities, and if you like the looks of it, I think this is the killer vehicle to own. But when it comes to overall SUV, full-size SUVs, I think this is one of the better ones for the price. And yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about it. In terms of, I guess maybe on the contrary, are there any negatives that you find with this car, or?
Just in terms of maintenance costs, they can be quite hefty.
Okay.
But however, depending on which showroom you get it from, we got it directly from GMC, and they have been actually phenomenal with the services. We also got free maintenance, I believe twice, initial free maintenance, which included the alignment of the vehicle.
Nice.
These bigger SUVs are slightly more prone to the alignment issues just because of the sheer weight and tire size. So that's something we had to get fixed twice within 2 years now. But it's not that big of a cost, and a lot of times GMC would have that included within your maintenance.
Right, and I feel like when it comes to maintenance of generally this caliber of vehicle or this price point of vehicle, people are typically gonna be used to like that premium cost, because again, this is gonna take way more oil than your regular car, and this is gonna take way more. I mean, I saw the bolts on the tires out there. There was not 5, there was like I think 8 of them or 7 of them or something. So it was,
yeah, it's a lot, and I think the wheel is about 22 inches too.
Yeah,
it's a giant wheel,
right.
And just we had to get winter tires, and you can't just put them on any rim.
Of
you
course.
have to get an alloy rim.
Of course.
To put them on.
And I'm sure the tires, since they're larger, much larger, they cost a lot more. So yes. I think that you take with a grain of salt when you're in the market to purchase a vehicle like this. And but I think that pretty much concludes our video. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video, and thank you again to Orbit Limousine for allowing me to film this car. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. There's going to be more cars on the way for you guys to watch and for me to drive and review. So stay tuned, hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you in the next video.